You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming, and programming in other great music formats, like blues, urban, including rap, also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy. You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming, and programming in other great music formats, like blues, urban, including rap, also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy. Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Getting sick and tired of your censorship and your data being used without your permission? Do something about it now. Come to MeWe, the internet social site that values your freedom. No more deleted postings. Make a step to freedom. Sign up today. It's easy. Go to www.MeWe.com. That's M-E-W-E. MeWe, the internet's free speech social site. America's Street Music is back on GJRB, Bluegrass with the Grassgolds, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle, with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too. Every third Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m. Central on GJRB. Great memories and trivia are coming up on the return of radio, television, and movie classics. I have more original sponsor openings from classic TV shows, Bonanza, Rawhide, and The Danny Thomas Show. Retro Primetime takes you back to primetime TV on Saturday night in the summer of 1968. I have a whole new crop of trivia questions for you to answer. And I have more commercials from defunct products. Join me, Gary Russin, for nostalgic fun on radio, television, and movie classics. Coming back Friday, March 8th at 3 o'clock p.m. Central on GJRB. Okay, we're back on the air here on GJRB Online. Gary J, the morning show here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We have a great program lined up. We got some more great music your way. But right now, we're going to take a look at some national weather here on GJRB Online. As I was saying earlier, we're going to take a look at some national temperatures. We'll take a look at those, some of the temperatures that we have here. As a matter of fact, why don't we do this? I'm going to go ahead and... this is a free-form show. This is our Gary J. the Morning Show. We have weather on the fives, either at 25 and 55 minutes past the hour, or weather actually whenever any time in the hour it ends in 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, or 55 minutes past the hour, and we'll do a weather on the fives in around quarter after. Okay, so quarter after, so about 11:15, we'll do a weather on the fives. So right now, though, why don't we do this? We're going to do a news update right now. And we're going to do our news update. So we're going to go into my news here. So I'm going to go over to my news page.
and pull up that regular news that we always do. So let's take a look at the news here on GJRB Online. Gary J. Russ with you. Gary J. in the morning. Got some more great music coming up on the other side. Along with that, more great music and talk, and talk about some of our program schedules and what's going on in the news and stuff. So stay with me for the next hour of the Gary J. in the Morning Show right here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And thank you so much for tuning in to the program. GJRB Online.
Still head to DC on Thursday. DC trade from prisons to talk.
Reuters reporters are finally free from prison. This is Reuters Now.
China's still sending its top trade official to Washington this week. Beijing said Tuesday Liu He would still head to DC on Thursday. That's after days of market turmoil and confusion over whether talks with the US would actually go ahead. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer, one of Washington's leads in the talks, said on Monday he'd seen a, quote, erosion in commitments by China over the past week. Evidence China was backtracking may be what pushed US President Donald Trump to say he'd hike tariffs on Chinese goods this Friday. Trump tweeted Sunday he'd ramp up tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods, from 10% to 25%, because trade negotiations were going too slow. But Reuters' Michael Martina has been covering the story from Beijing and says some observers won't be surprised by the flare-up.
So both governments in recent weeks before Trump's latest remarks had been expressing optimism about the possibility of reaching a deal. In fact, if you talk to trade experts and even executives and companies involved in China-U.S. trade, there's actually a fair amount of skepticism that any kind of long-lasting deal could be reached, basically because of the rigidity of U.S. demands and because China's essentially unwillingness or inability to implement such reforms. Chinese trade experts say that recent positive economic indicators could mean that both sides have less incentive to quickly reach a deal. Whether or not that's actually the case, most people here in China believe that China is unlikely to fully respond to U.S. demands to essentially revamp its economic model. They suggest that it would be more disastrous politically for China's government to capitulate to the United States on these issues than it would be for it to face an economic downturn.
The trade conflict between the world's two biggest economies has cost each side billions of dollars in the past year, affecting industries from auto manufacturing to agriculture.
Two Reuters journalists were reunited with their families on Tuesday after being separated for more than 500 days. The two fathers were convicted of breaking the Official Secrets Act in Myanmar and sentenced to 7 years in jail, while Lone held his daughter for the first time as a free man. His wife gave birth to their first child while he and Cho So-u were detained. Their release on Tuesday, under a presidential amnesty, sparked celebrations in Reuters newsrooms worldwide as their colleagues watched live.
I would like to say thank you very much for everything. I'm really happy and excited to see my family and my colleagues. And I can't wait to go my newsroom.
Their case sparked outcry from diplomats and human rights advocates and raised questions about Myanmar's progress toward democracy. Before their arrest in late 2017, while Lone and Cho So-u had been working on an investigation into the killing of 10 Rohingya Muslim men and boys by security forces and Buddhist civilians in Rakhine State during an army crackdown that began in August 2017. The UN estimates more than 730,000 Rohingya fled to Bangladesh during the operation. Reuters editor-in-chief Stephen Adler praised the journalists shortly after their release.
We are enormously pleased that Myanmar has released our courageous reporters, Walon and Cho So-u. Since their arrest 511 days ago, they have become symbols of the importance of press freedom around the world. We welcome their return.
Calls to a spokesman for the Myanmar government were not immediately answered. Human rights groups, foreign governments, and the United Nations also praised the decision on Tuesday. Amal Clooney, who acted as a lawyer and counsel to Reuters on the case, said, quote, "It's inspiring to see a news organisation so committed to the protection of innocent men and the profession of journalism."
You're up to date. For more, check back later or download the Reuters TV app. In weather, in Clinton there's a flood warning in effect until Tuesday, May 7th, 12:13 p.m. The current weather is 52 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can look for rainy weather with a high of 56 degrees and a low of 44 degrees. That's all for now.
And we'll have another news update coming up in about a half hour here at Gary J. in the Morning on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And, of course, weather on the 5s at 25 and 45 past the hour, 25, 55 past the hour, anytime that ends in the 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, or 55 minutes past the hour on Gary J. in the Morning. Show 106. In our series of great morning shows, aired just about every Tuesday morning here on GJRB Online. Kind of a steady show. Try to get this program going. Now, this program had one more hour. I'll play some music. And then at 12 o'clock noon, I'm going to be going to what I call the GJRB Schedule Update Podcast. Now, what I mean is that we do a schedule update of what programs are coming up on GJRB Online. That's coming up next. I have a new idea for some new programming, and I'm going to spontaneous. We're going to be spontaneous from now through summer. That means no programs will be scheduled until September. Okay? And basically, we'll still be on the air, but we're going to be on any time, any day, and it'll be any program in my rotation. Now, I have a rotation of programs. I'm going to be talking about this coming up next hour in all our program genre. And they'll follow in an order, a cycle, a rotation. And I will be talking about this in the next hour. So stay tuned for that, okay? All right, meanwhile, though, we can play some music, have some fun, and as we start the new hour of music here at Gary J. in the Morning on GJRB Online. It's 11:03 in the Central Time Zone right now. That's 3 minutes past 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock noon in the East, and it is now 10:04 Mountain, 9:04 Pacific, 8:04 in Alaska, Fairbanks, and the North Pole. And you're listening to the Gary J. in the Morning Show. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the program. We're going to wake up with some morning news, weather, sports page. Coming up a little later on, we'll do a conversational one. And we'll talk a lot about different things that's on your mind. So drop in and say hello. I'm live on Twitter. That's TWITTER, Twitter. And that is where we broadcast. And you can catch me on Twitter, and I'm on live. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go on there right now and get into my Twitter page. And you'll see the Antique Radio emblem. And when you see the Antique Radio emblem, it shows that we're on the air. It'll say GJRB Online with the old radio emblem on it. And you'll see our broadcast. That's our broadcast. As we're on the air, Gary J. in the Morning. As a matter of fact, you'll see the logo with the coffee cup. And because we sit here and play music and talk and have coffee and talk about what's up on your mind. And kind of like a mix of my morning music show and my talk show, Gary J. in the Morning. My talk show, I have Gary J. in the Morning, a mixture of Gary J. in the Morning and the Gary Wrestling Program, which is my talk show. So it's kind of like that. Throw in a little bit of music, talk a little bit, play some music some more, talk a little bit, see who's out there, and then we kind of round up the show with a little bit of music. And like I said today, it's going to turn into the GJRB Schedule Update Podcast at 12 o'clock noon. Okay, So just to let you know about that, at 12 o'clock noon, we're going to be flipping over, and it's going to be the GJRB Schedule Update Podcast. And we'll give you the new program schedule and all that good stuff. So I hope you'll stay with me throughout the morning. Gary J in the morning, and then at 12 o'clock noon, we flip over to the GJRB Schedule Update Podcast. And let you know what programs are coming up and how we're going to do our schedule and stuff like that. So, join me in the chat room. Like I said, you can go into Twitter. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go down to the Twitter page. There should be here where the antique radio emblem is. Just go down my Twitter page here. Usually I kind of do that, or I kind of just slide down with the arrow. So kind of like I can do a fast scroll. Because my scroller button broke. So I have to do it this way. The scroller button broke. So I'm kind of doing it. There we go. Gary J in the morning. Here we are, 106 5719. And there's our first part there. But I'm pretty sure that the other part is there as well. Should be. I'm kind of going out their page here so we can find part 2. Should be here. Somewhere in the mix here. We should have the other part down here. Part 2 should be here anyway. So I'm going to kind of go down scrolling down the page to find part 2. So there's part 1. I thought for sure it would have part 2 in there. But it says live podcast. It's got a big red button there. And it says Gary J in the morning, 106 5719. And talks about how I came back from a really bad cold. I had a sinus headache is what I had. And that sinus headache was murder. I'm telling you what. I mean, this was like a really bad sinus headache. I felt like my head was going to explode off. I'm serious. This was really bad. And not only that, it was like my whole system was like packed or something. It was like I couldn't. I had to, and it was bad. Friday morning, and I had to go to the emergency room here at Clinton, and so I had to call off my jazz that day. There was no jazz broadcast that day. And I'm going to make up for that because this weekend we're going to have that jazz broadcast it was canceled last week. So we will be back on the air Friday afternoon. Actually, late Friday, we're going to have the Wave of Smooth Jazz at 1 o'clock Central Time, followed by the Smooth Afternoon at 3 o'clock. That'll be Friday afternoon right here on GJRB Online. 3 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. Right here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Kind of going down the page right now, looking at my Twitter, finding some interesting things. Summers in Alaska has an interesting posting. We're going to see something about that here in a minute. I'm just kind of scrolling down the page, finding out where the heck my part 2 is of this podcast. So I'm going to go into my main frame, what I call the profile page, and it should be sitting there in my profile page. Because here it is. There it is right there, part 2. So it's got to be in that list there somewhere because part 2 shows up on my profile page. And there's a heart. Ooh, there's a heart beside part 2. That's a Gary Russell program. That was way, way, way back. Okay, I thought maybe for sure someone was listening and was liking it. So we're on part 2 right now. And for the Gary J in the Morning Show, part 2. And if you're listening to that, I hope you are. Glad you could be with us. Thank you for tuning in. And you can listen to the show right here on Twitter. Just hit that button. And as a matter of fact, when you hit that play button on part 2, it'll open up into a player. Okay? And right there you see it. Right there in the player. And you can go right into the chat room from that player and talk to me live. So you can listen live right there. But if you scroll down the page, you'll lose the podcast. So I suggest if you want to look at your Twitter page while listening to the show, you might have to open up another tab. That's all that simple. But anyway, glad you could be with me this morning, and I hope you'll tune in for the music and the talk and the fun and all that good stuff. And new emerging artists as well here on GJRB Online. I love playing the new emerging artists because I think that they're just as important as some of the artists that are out there. So we're going to throw in some really good music here along with that there this morning. And invite you to tune in as I'm getting ready for typing up part 3. So while I'm doing that, I'm kind of, or at least probably be the final, because let me look at I've got 24 minutes left. So with that in mind, I'd say that would be the final part coming up next. So I'm going to put that in as a final part and instead of calling it part 3, because we're going to be going into the GJRB schedule update podcast at 12 o'clock noon. So we're just going to kind of randomly play some music and talk and hope that maybe somebody out there is listening, because I am now on SoundCloud as well. So I'm going to go into SoundCloud, because I had it up there earlier. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll pop into my history. I use my history a lot, because sometimes it'll give me the recent page, and then what I'll do, after a while, it'll show up in my other shortcut page, and all I can do is go right to it, which is kind of nice. I like that. That's kind of a nice feature. So there you go. Right there is Gary J in the morning, 5719. Okay, that's for some reason. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh that. See why I'm not seeing part 2 on that list, because I should be seeing part 2. Coming up here, should be seeing part 2. Okay, part 2. Oh, there's part 1. So part 2 should be on here. Part 1 is already up. So I think that once I'm off the air for a certain part, it'll show up. So you can listen to this later on SoundCloud. So if you don't catch us live, if you miss us and you don't have Spreaker, just go to SoundCloud. You can hear us live there too. You can leave a comment as well in all those places. And because I check my messages, usually my email will tell me if I have a message on one of my broadcast parts. So, feel welcome to drop in a message even after I'm off the air, because I usually will. I will check. I always try to check as much as I can, and see who is out there, and so that's what I'll do for you. Hey, tell you what we're going to do right now. I'm going to take a break here and throw a song on here from my rotation. So I'm going to kind of pop that in and play something emerging from our list. Got some really good stuff. I got a lot of new music we've been playing. And let's see, we have pop it in here, some new music. We've been playing this for a while, though, but it's still on so I'm going to pop it into the main rotation for the heavy. But this is one of the good ones from a group called Apologetics, Won't Be Born Again, from their album Word, right here on GJRB Online. Gary J in the Morning Show. It's a little rock, sounding like the Who, man. You know what I mean? So check that out. Let me see. What's going on with this thing? Let me see. Sometimes this thing doesn't want to... I have to go into my thing. I have to go up here and to my page here and bring it up on the board. Because sometimes it will turn down by itself for some reason. Don't ask me why. Just don't ask me why. I have no idea. But it'll do that by itself without even warning. So here's a little rock and roll for you now. It's kind of the Who, but it's not the Who. It's Apologetics and Won't Be Born Again. Good morning. Great variety of music from rock to country to jazz. Middle of the road. All your favorite kinds of music here on GJRB Online to wake up, to get you going in the morning. The West Coast. GJRB. Yeah. Rap.
They've been frightened of the beast, and they will have no peace. And the hero that they worship will be gone. celebration, smiling grin when there's peace all around. Don't forget about the price you pay there on Judgment Day, when you get on your knees and pray. But won't get born again, won't get born again. No, no.
Oh, yeah. Great rockin'. Apologetics on Gary J. The Morning Show on GTRB Online with great piece of music. Actually, it's not The Who, it's the Apologetics. They're a Christian band. They turned a lot of rock secular tunes into Christian. An absolutely fabulous band. Got introduced to them actually by my friend Mike Myers when we got introduced here on Spreaker a long time ago, and he sent me that disc because I loved all the songs he was playing from that album, and I've been playing them for quite some time after that. And absolutely fabulous album. I've listened to it a few times and really have enjoyed it. And absolutely fabulous. Welcome WBRFM. They sent me a message on here saying that we're always on the lookout for some new presenters to come and join our station. Even if you are learning, we'll have to support you. We have our own websites called WBRFM.com. If you go to the Contact Us page via our website, look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, thank you a lot, WBRFM. As a matter of fact, I do follow you guys quite often. I haven't listened to you lately. Been kind of away from the computer for a little bit because last week I had a real bad sinus cold, whatever you call it, sinus infection. It kind of tore me up a little bit, knocked me off the air for a while, so I've been kind of like returned back on the air today. I'd like to join you guys. That sounds like thank you very much. I would love to be a presenter for you guys. Matter of fact, I tried the last time, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody, and no one got back at me for it, and I thought, well, yeah, I'd love to be part of your station. And be a part of that. It'd be kind of fun. Let me know. I will get a hold of you after I get off the air here on GTRB Online. Now, GTRB Online, this is my network, and I'm on Spreaker, and I know you guys are. But it is a way that I could still stay on Spreaker and be part of you guys would be absolutely fabulous. I would love it. Right now, I'm on a 45-minute plan. I'm only doing 45-minute plan right now. With a possibility of being on the 3-hour, possibly being on 3 hours. Not sure when that's going to happen at this point. Kind of debatable as to when that's going to happen. but I'm hoping that maybe real soon we could be on the 3-hour plan, which I really would love to do, because I don't really get the being able to do that. Right now, 74 is expected high today for Seattle. Portland, Oregon, 77 checking in. Salt Lake City, 68. 41 degrees in Rapid City for tonight. 59 for Fargo, North Dakota. And here's some of the temperatures. Seattle, 53 degrees tonight. 50 tomorrow. For the low temperatures tonight, 53 degrees in Sacramento, 57 in Cincinnati. And here is what's going on nationally from Weather Nation. Okay, Weather Nation, okay. Oh, I know why. Let me take a look. Let's see why I'm not getting anywhere with this. Okay, I'm going to have to do something real quick. Hang on a second, folks. I was going to get Weather Nation on here, but I have to plug him in. So I'm going to do here is pop him into the back of the board here. Turn on my soundboard, see if we can bring it up here, and find out why we're not hearing these guys. Why am I not hearing anybody? Why am I not hearing anybody? Why am I not hearing anybody? Okay, that sounds like it's not coming in. Okay, so we are not getting anywhere with this today. Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to cancel Weather on the Fives from the... I was going to do the Weather on the Fives from our friends at Weather Channel, so I'm going to kind of skip that because it's just not working out today. So ixnay that, because I was getting a little bit before, but for some reason I am not getting anywhere with these guys today. So no Weather on the Fives from Weather Nation, because it's just not working. So we're going to kind of give you some temperatures across America, and I'll try to improve my weather, because my weather always seems to be my problem. I need to prep my weather forecast before I go on the air. I think that's what I have to do. I have to prep my weather forecast and really listen to weather the night before. And because what happens is when I do it this way, I can never find my weather forecast. Can never find it. It's like, why? And anyway, let's just do it this way. I'm going to give you our Weather on the Fives. We'll give you the temperature now, like it's right here. Okay, for some reason I just not. Here we go. Let's take a look at some of the places. Birmingham, Alabama, right now expecting sunny today with a high of 88 degrees. They're going to get close to 90 in Alabama. Although, meanwhile, in Brooklyn, New York, it's only going to be 64. Chance of showers today with a high of only 70. Not bad, though. For Charlotte, North Carolina, looking at some sunshine today with a high of 81 degrees. Some of the areas expecting some really nice weather. Weather on the Fives, any time of the hour it ends in 5, 10, 15, a little bit. So any time in the hour that ends in 5 is when we do Weather on the Fives here on GJRB Online. Gary J in the Morning Show. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And like I said before, this is the last hour of the Gary J in the Morning Show. And then we're going to be going over to our GJRB Schedule Update podcast. Tell you what programs are coming up on the GJRB schedule. And we've got a lot of really good stuff. And I'm doing something new for this summer. Even though I don't have a promotion for it. I don't need one. It's just going to be spontaneous summer. That means that all from now until probably about August or September, I'm only going to be on the air. I'm going to be on the air every day. Almost every day. Okay? Almost every day here on GJRB. Almost every day. Although some days we might not be on the air for maybe 2 or 3. And that's because I might be doing some production. But other than that, I'm planning on being on the air spontaneous. And that means whatever, whenever. It could be, I could be on the air in the morning like I am now. I could be doing my regular afternoon with Gary Rustin program. program. You never know what program. It's going to be on the rotation. Okay, and I'll show you the rotation. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about even making a video, because another thing I'm planning on doing is doing some live video on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I should experiment with something here. I'm thinking about trying this. Let me see why I have the tablet up. I want to try something, just for the sake of it. Only because I want to see, first of all, how my nose looks. It should be good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my YouTube. Okay, I'm going to flip over to my YouTube. I'm on my tablet right now. And I want to see if I can do a stream on my tablet on YouTube showing me doing my live radio show. I'm going to do this. I want to see if this will work. Okay. The things. All right. Okay, I want to skip that part. Come on. Be nice to me. All right. Okay, now I am in my YouTube. When I go to my YouTube channel, that's the GJRB TV YouTube channel. That's where you'll see a lot of our broadcast and some of the neat stuff I got on here. Classic TV. I got some trivia. I got all kinds of stuff on here. I'm not kidding you. I got a lot of really neat stuff here. And great followers and great people that have neat stuff here, like old network bumpers from early television. I have some old NBC bumpers for stuff like Bonanza. I have a whole load of stuff on here. I kid you. I mean, I have some really neat stuff. And if you get on my YouTube channel, you'll see these. I have like classic TV openings, the old NBC Snake, the original opening of the Peacock, where it says the following program brought to you in living color. Those are all for radio, television, and movie classics, which is my trivia show. And I have a lot of neat stuff on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try an experiment. I want to see if I can broadcast live. Yeah, go live. Okay, let me see here. I want to see what we'll do if I hit go live. Okay, let's see. Eligibility. Your channel does not meet our updated eligibility requirements for mobile live streaming. You can still stream with your webcam or broadcast software. Okay, so I am not able to do it on here. So what I could do at this meantime is to go into my where's my webcam? It fell on the floor. It fell on the ground again, didn't it? Oh, bookers. This webcam never stays up. So what I'm going to do here instead then is see what I could do about trying it this way. I'm going to go in. Now, I've done this before, and what happened was, let's see. Oh, let me see here. I'm going to reduce that down. I think I'm done with I think I'll be done with the virtual DJ for now. Okay, so I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to go into my where I do my this one right here, what I call the live streaming thing, or even better yet, why don't I just record it? Make it easier on myself. Let's do it this way. I'm going to go to my camera here and just do a live video. So we're doing that right now. Let's do. Okay, I'm recording a live video, what you're seeing right now. Yeah. Okay, do it again. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to flip over. Okay, I'm going to flip over to my face here. Yeah, don't scream now. Okay, let me see here. Okay, here we go. Don't scream now. This is. I know this is not for sensitive people here now. This could get scary. Okay, why is it doing that? Okay, it's not what I wanted, people. Okay, this is going to play a little. Okay. All right, we have it, but see, it's doing a loop here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this dumb thing from doing that. Okay. Go back. See, this is where it gets crazy, because for some reason I can't do an extended record. So I'm going to have to do it the other way like I had planned on doing it. I'm going to go into my... okay, I'm going to pop that up, see if it'll work. Okay, because I got rid of some of my... Okay, so I'm going to open that up. Okay. Yeah, If you think this is fun radio, watch what we do here when we decide we're going to broadcast at the same time we're doing video. Because like I said before, the last time I did this, it slowed the computer way down and it got stuck. And it really didn't do me any good. But I've been doing some cleaning of the computer over the weekend, which I think kind of helped out a lot, basically. But it really didn't... it didn't give me enough time to pull up. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to go ahead and get this next part ready here. I don't care. The details, whatever they are. And let that do its thing, because we're running on the web thing. On the web mixer. So where web mixer is kind of going down to about 29 seconds, about a minute and a half before it closes out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to the Studio Spreaker, which here in just a few seconds. And as soon as that runs out, we'll continue. And we're going to we're going to do a short video simulcast on both Spreaker and on my YouTube channel, and we'll see how this works, because I haven't done it in a while. Seriously, I haven't done it in a while, and hoping maybe we can maintain some kind of audience from this, because I've been trying for a long time to get a decent radio audience, and that's why I'm going to take WBR on their offer. The last time I wasn't sure, but I think I am sure this time that I'm going to take WBR off on their offer, because maybe I could be on longer and get some audience here, because I gotta tell you folks, it gets frustrating when I can't get audience for this program and all my other programs that I have, especially my trivia shows. I mean, it just don't. And I thought maybe, with a stroke of luck, maybe